So over 6 months ago, I made a video where I talked about my entire owned TBR, and I asked everyone to leave me comments with the books that you would recommend I read for a reading vlog. Well, today we are finally going to be starting that reading vlog. My plan is to try and read 3 to 5 books for this vlog, depending on which books come up, because I'm leaving it all to chance. I'm going to use a random comment generator to find the books to read for this vlog, and I know that there are some chunky books that were recommended, so I'm a little bit scared. Hopefully we'll get some shorter books in the mix as well, but I'm gonna grab my phone, which I've left over there. I'm gonna turn on my screen recording, and then we are gonna find out what book I'm gonna be reading first. It took me a few minutes, but I think I found a website that's gonna work, so I'm gonna press start, and oh, okay, so the comment that's come up is from Nat, and I've actually been thinking about this book recently, so I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna just go and grab it. So Nat's pick was Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell, which I have been really interested in because I believe this is political sci-fi, and it also has a romance. I think it's an arranged marriage. It says here, rebellious royals, political alliances, a galactic empire on the brink of civil war. So sounds like it's going to be my kind of thing. I actually bought this from Gaze the Word in London last year. This was second hand and it was only £3, so I was really excited to find it in there. But yeah, I'm gonna make a start on this, I guess, and I will update you once I have some thoughts. So I'm not gonna lie to you, this is my second attempt at filming this vlog update. The first time the lighting was just awful, so we're gonna try this again. It's now Friday evening. I have just finished work for the weekend, and I thought I should update you with some thoughts on Winter's Orbit because I started this last night. I made it to chapter 4, so I read the first 45 pages and I'm liking it so far. I really like the writing style and I'm intrigued by the characters. I think they have potential to be cute. So I'm gonna try and explain what the plot is for this. I don't even know what the plot is yet, but I'm gonna try and explain the world building. Also, sorry if my chair keeps squeaking, but I'm having a bad day, okay? Basically, within this world, there is this planet called Iskat, and the Iskat Empire rules over a bunch of other planets within the solar system, and the way that they form alliances is through treaties, and those treaties are usually sealed through marriages. Before the start of the book, one of the princes of Iskat is killed, and he was part of this really important political marriage because he was married to a guy from a planet whose treaty is due for renewal very soon. So it causes this big political headache, and they need to find a replacement for this prince, and the guy that they choose is called Kiem, and he is a bit of a party prince. He's very well known in the press because he likes to get drunk and get himself into awkward situations and he's not really clued up on politics. He doesn't really pay attention to all of that kind of stuff, so he's a little bit nervous about this marriage. In contrast, the guy that he's marrying is Jainan, and he has grown up knowing that he's going to be entering into a political marriage, so he's much more aware, but he's almost too aware. He feels quite anxious about doing things wrong because he's obviously moved from his home planet to this new planet, and the culture and the customs are quite different. That is probably a terrible explanation of this book, but so far I am intrigued by these characters. I think the author has done a really good job of capturing the awkwardness of their relationship, and I'm really excited to see it grow and see how it develops. Might be a little ambitious, but I'm hoping to finish this by the end of the weekend. I am going into Birmingham tomorrow, but I'm going to take this on the train so I can read on the way there and back. And then I don't have any plans on Sunday, so I can hopefully read some more then. But this is over 400 pages, and I've realised recently that I am really bad at predicting how long it's going to take me to finish a book, so we'll see how much I get read tonight and tomorrow. But yeah, so far, so good.
Start of the night and I'm waiting to call you. It's knocking on doors in the dark, I've been walking house. Been laid up on the news, now you're lying. The look up on your face, now you smile. It's the start of the night and I'm waiting to call you. It's knocking on doors in the dark, I've been walking house. Been laid up on the news, now you're lying. The look up on your face, now you're smiling.
Good morning, it is now Sunday and I am excited for a day of reading. I'm a little bit tired from going into Birmingham yesterday, but I'm very excited to read some more of Winter's Orbit because I made it to the halfway point last night, well not last night, but on the train home from Birmingham. I made it to the halfway point and I am so annoyed at myself for leaving it this long to read this book because I'm loving it. I think the relationship between the characters is being built up in a way that feels really genuine. So initially I wasn't sure if I would like how the characters make assumptions about each other and they don't really communicate, but actually once you learn about the stuff that's happened to them in the past, it all starts to make sense. And actually I think it's kind of believable that it would take a while for the characters to open up to each other and to start to trust each other. I was not prepared for this to almost make me cry. It's been a little emotional in places. I will say I'm not that fussed about the sci-fi elements, like some of it's going over my head, but there is a mystery which I wasn't expecting, and I do love a good mystery, but it's mostly the relationship that I'm here for and that I'm enjoying the most. I think I said earlier that I would like to try and finish this before the end of the weekend, and considering how much I'm enjoying it, I think that's actually possible. It's not like the quickest read. I mean, it's quick because I'm enjoying it, but it's a little bit heavy at times in terms of like getting my head around the science fiction stuff. But yeah, really happy with how much I'm living this. I don't want to say it's going to be a 5 stars in case I don't enjoy the second half as much, but it's given me strong 4 to 5 star feelings right now. So last night I did end up finishing Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell, and I'm giving it 5 stars. I think this might be one of my favourite books of the year. We're going to see what else I read in the second half of 2023, but I just loved these characters so much, and I thought the world was also really interesting. I would read more books from this author that are set in this world. This does wrap up like a standalone, so you do get a conclusion to the story by the end, but from what I understand, there is a companion novel as well that's set in the same universe, but it follows different characters. I think I would recommend this to certain people. However, I would recommend this more if you are equally interested in space politics and also romance. I think if you're more interested in one over the other, then this might not work for you, because like personally I preferred the romance side of the plot, but there is also this political mystery. So if you're not interested in the politics, then you might find this boring, but also I think the politics alone weren't enough to carry the book. Like, if this hadn't had a romance, then I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. Did that make sense? I don't know if that made sense. But yeah, really happy that I loved this so much. I've been talking about this recently, where it feels like every time I've been enjoying a book recently, it feels like almost a 5 stars, but I haven't had that new obsession feeling, and I am obsessed with this book. I loved this. It was an easy 5 stars. I know I mentioned earlier that this did make me feel a little emotional at times, and it is emotional in places, but generally the tone, like, there are also funny moments. Kiem in particular is just a really funny guy, and some of his one-liners made me laugh out loud. It didn't actually click with me until after I'd finished this that it's called Winter's Orbit, and the main planet where most of the plot is taking place is in the middle of winter, so it's snowy and icy, and I'm not really a seasonal reader, but it was a bit odd reading this when it's beautiful sunshine outside. I had a quick look at Nat's review for this, and she described it as Red, White and Royal Blue meets Star Wars, and I would agree. Before I forget, this does have content warnings for emotional and physical abuse, just in case you are thinking about picking this up, but yeah, 5 stars, and I love it when I start a vlog with a 5 stars because I'm so excited now to carry on reading. And yeah, I guess it's time to pick the next book that I'm going to be reading for this vlog, and I'm scared because I'm actually going away this weekend on Friday. It's currently Monday, so I would ideally like a book that I could finish before I go away. Okay, so screen recording should now be switched on, and we're gonna find out what I'm going to be reading next. Oh, okay, so Vish's comment has come up, and there's actually quite a few books within her comment, so I'm going to have a little look and see which of these I want to read. So I could go with The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet and continue the sci-fi theme that we've got going on, but actually I'm in the mood for a mystery, so I think I'm actually going to choose Finlay Donovan Is Killing It, which I don't own physically. I have it on my Kindle, but I've heard really good things about this, so I'm hoping it's going to be a relatively quick read. I've heard that it's a bit goofy and a little bit out there. I think it's about a writer who is mistaken for being a hit woman or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna make a start on this and I will let you know once I have some thoughts. So last night I made a start on Finlay Donovan Is Killing It by Al Cosimano, I think is the author, and the first chapter of this made me feel so angry, and I think it was meant to, so that's a good thing. Basically, this follows our main character, Finlay Donovan, whose ex-husband is an arsehole. He cheated on her, and now he's trying to get full custody of the kids, and he's deliberately making her life miserable, and the rage I felt while reading that first chapter, and to be honest, the first few chapters, I think I'm about 20% of the way through. But yeah, our main character has these 2 young kids and a really shitty ex-husband. I really enjoy reading the Am I the Asshole Reddit, and the start of this book reminded me of the rage I sometimes feel reading the stories on that Reddit because I can't believe there are some people out there who are just that awful. But yeah, the main plot of this is that Finlay is struggling financially. She is an author and she's overdue on her latest book, and she's having this conversation with her agent, I think it is, in this coffee shop, and she writes romantic suspense novels. There's a woman at the table next to them who misunderstands their conversation and thinks that Finlay is a hit woman, so she passes her a note asking her to commit this murder, and shenanigans follow. It's a little out there, it's a little ridiculous, but as long as it doesn't go too over the top, I think I'm going to really enjoy this. It's been a really fun time so far, even though you do have to suspend disbelief just a little bit. But yeah, having a good time with this so far. Good morning. It is now Thursday. I've just got home from a doctor's appointment and I now have the rest of the day off. I actually booked a day off work because I knew I was going to be going to my doctor's appointment this morning and then I'm going away tomorrow. So I figured let's extend the holiday by an extra day. I'm gonna take my Kindle into town and go out for breakfast by myself and just chill for the rest of the morning. I would also like to see my mum today because it's her birthday over the weekend and I'm not going to be here. Reading wise, I am now 60% of the way through Finlay Donovan and I'm really liking it. You do really have to suspend disbelief because some of the characters' decisions, I don't know whether they're doing what I would personally do in the situation, but I think that's what's making it so fun. So yeah, I'm hoping to read some more of it today. I'm actually hoping to finish it today so I can choose another book to take away with me this weekend, but I'll let you know how it goes. I need to walk into town because I didn't have time to eat before my doctor's appointment this morning and I am hungry. So yeah, I'm gonna go out for breakfast and then hopefully the next time I see you, it'll be to tell you that I finished Finlay Donovan.
If we could run it, if we could run it back, and do you wonder if we could run it back? If we could run it, if we could run it back, and do you wonder?
So it's a little bit later and I have just finished Finlay Donovan is Killing It by El Cosimano and I really enjoyed this. I'm going to give it 4 stars. I think the main reason it didn't quite feel like a 5 stars is because the ending wasn't that satisfying to me. Like there was one aspect of the mystery which I felt was wrapped up in a way that, I don't know, it was a little bit rushed and it was based on the main character making an assumption about something and jumping to conclusions and wasn't like the biggest fan of that. But yeah, I would recommend this if you are looking for a fun mystery that doesn't take itself too seriously. Then I thought this was really well written. I liked the main character and there was also a hint of romance which I was more invested in than I was expecting to be. We'll definitely be continuing the series. I think the epilogue actually set things up for the next book and I'm really intrigued with how it left off. So yeah, 4 stars and it's time to choose my next read. I think I've said a few times I am going away for the weekend tomorrow, so I need something ideally on my Kindle. I'm not against taking a physical book with me, but ideally I would like a Kindle book, so let's see what comes up. I will put the recording on the screen so you can see, but let's find out. Oh, okay. Lessons in Chemistry. So I own this physically and it's in the other room, so I'm gonna go and grab it. But yeah, I think I'm okay with this one actually. Interestingly, I was actually thinking about putting this on my August TBR, but I'm okay with getting to it a little bit quicker. This is the Waterstones special edition, which has very cool stenciled edges, but I have heard amazing things about this book. I believe it's literary fiction. It's set in the 1960s and we are following a woman who is a scientist, but she's fired from her job and she then gets another job hosting a TV show about cooking, but she's actually teaching women how to go against the status quo. So yeah, very excited to be finally reading this. I bought this in December last year, so it's about time that I pick it up. And yeah, I've heard amazing things about this, so hopefully I'm gonna love it. I'm probably not gonna vlog much over the weekend, or at all actually, because of going away, but if I do finish this over the weekend, I'll just update you once I'm back. I doubt I'm gonna finish it because it's like 400 pages and the writing looks quite small, so I will let you know some thoughts on this once I've started it.
Saturday, I wanted to call, but I never know what to say. Taking pictures with my phone, distracting me from my brain. It's 2 p.m. You said just friends. The fuck happened? Yeah, I dreamed I had a million things to hold me over till you call, and now you're somewhere with someone else, and I've got nobody at all to break my fall.
I have a little confession to make. So I didn't end up reading any of Lessons in Chemistry while I was away. I actually ended up having a lot more free time to read than I was expecting because it chucked it down with rain for half the time that we were away. But I took a different book with me because I realised I have a library book that's due back next week, I think, and I wanted to make sure that I read it before it had to go back. So yeah, I didn't read any of Lessons in Chemistry while I was away. However, I have now started it since getting back. I read the first 30 pages, I think, last night, and I really love how this looks, by the way, under the dust jacket. I think this is the first time I've taken the dust jacket off. So far, my initial thoughts are that I like the writing style. I think the characters seem interesting, but I was not prepared for there to be a really graphic rape scene in the first 20 pages. That was really unexpected, so I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I am excited to carry on reading this today. My plan is to just read all day, and then I also need to get through all of my washing from the weekend and recover because I'm back in the office tomorrow, and at the moment I just feel very, very tired. We went to Skegness. I'm not sure if I even mentioned that, but it's like a 4-hour drive from where I live, so yeah, it was a long weekend. It was really good though, apart from the weather being miserable. But I am gonna go and make myself a coffee and get stuck into this. I feel like it's gonna be a really quick read. I read those first 30 pages really quickly last night, so hopefully I can finish this in the next few days. So it's now a few hours later, and I thought I should do a very quick reading update because I'm now around 150 pages. You can't even see that. I'm around 150 pages into Lessons in Chemistry, and I have thoughts. So I really want to like this book. I love the concept and how we're following this woman who's working in STEM in the 1950s. I love the idea of this story, but I don't think I like the execution. Some of the dialogue in particular has really taken me out of the story. So, for example, there was this one scene where the main character turned to her partner at home and said, "Oh, could you please pass me the sodium chloride?" And I was reading it thinking, why don't you just say salt? Like, I get the main character is a chemist, but it just felt unnecessary to me, and I don't think that the characters in this are very believable. I don't think that Elizabeth, the main character, is meant to be likeable, but to me, she's coming across as very blunt and direct, which I guess is the point. Like, the whole point is that she's this feminist in a time where sexism is rampant. So I get it. I understand why she's been written with that kind of personality. Because this is such a character-driven story, the fact that I'm not really liking her is making it really hard to root for her, because on paper I am agreeing with her and I am wanting to root for her. I just don't really like her. It's still perfectly readable, like I haven't even considered DNFing it because I want to know what direction the story is going to go in. Considering that this is really a story about Elizabeth's life, the fact that I don't really like her is causing me issues, so hopefully that changes the further that I get into the book. But yeah, so far I'm just having very mixed feelings towards this, and this book has been so hyped, so I was expecting to really love it. I was expecting this to be an easy 5 stars, and so far it's feeling like a 3. So I am currently on page 293 of Lessons in Chemistry, and I'm still not really liking it. I'm going to talk about what I am liking. So I like the overall message that this book is trying to get across, and how it's highlighting and bringing attention to a whole generation, well, several generations of women who weren't able to become scientists when they might have wanted to. So I really appreciate the messages that the book is trying to get across. I also like how it's got this very breezy writing style, so whenever I pick it up I feel invested, and I'm definitely not bored, which is why I haven't DNF'd, because I'm curious to see how it's going to end. I think I went into this book with the wrong expectations because it's so hyped, and it has something like a 4.3 average rating on Goodreads. So many people have loved this book, but I'm just not getting from it what I wanted to get from it, or what I expected for it to give me. Within this story there's been a lot of trauma and sadness and frustration, but it's dealing with it in a very light-hearted way, and the tone just feels really off to me, and it's been quite jarring. And don't get me wrong, I do think that it's possible to explore deeper and darker topics within a light-hearted tone of voice. One of my favourite authors, Frederick Backman, does that really well, but there's just something about the tone of this book that's not working for me. The main character is a fantastic chemist, and she's very academically smart. However, she has 0 social skills. So there's been times where side characters have had to explain to her societal norms, and there has been no mention of her being neurodivergent, by the way. I just wanted to put that out there. Whenever someone tries to explain something to her, she's acting like she doesn't understand, and it's really, really confusing. She literally feels like a modern day woman who's been dropped in the 1950s and 1960s. And I'm not saying that I want her to stick to societal norms. I quite like that we have someone who's going against the status quo, but it just feels very unrealistic that she wouldn't be aware of the world that she lives in. I hope that makes sense. I don't know whether I'm making sense and I'm stumbling over my words, but yeah, I'm really upset that this isn't working for me because I was expecting this to be a 5 stars. That's why I bought this beautiful Waterstones special edition, but yeah, there's been a lot of telling and not enough showing in my opinion, so I'm gonna hopefully finish this tonight. I only have something like 70 pages left, so we'll see how it ends. But yeah, the only thing that I have liked about this book is the dog. It does have that going for it, but otherwise this has been disappointing so far. So I have just finished Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I literally finished it about 5 minutes ago and I wanted to share my thoughts now because I don't think I really need to think on this book. I know I didn't like it, and 2 stars feels really harsh, but I didn't like the book, so I don't want to give it 3 stars because I feel like that implies that I liked it and I didn't. So yeah, really disappointed that I didn't like this more. I don't feel like I have much else to add to what I've already said. I thought that the character writing was really lazy. This was full of stereotypes, and the villainous characters felt really over the top, and I just didn't enjoy it. So yeah, I'm really disappointed because I was expecting to love this book, but instead I now feel like I need to unhaul this beautiful edition that I got from Waterstones, and I'm really sad about it. So yeah, unfortunately this isn't how I wanted to end the vlog, but I am gonna wrap up the vlog here because I've read 3 books for this vlog and I have really enjoyed making this vlog. I did get a 5 stars actually. I forgot about that, but the first book that I read for this vlog was 5 stars, and then I enjoyed the second book and obviously didn't enjoy the third book. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have made it this far, let me know if you'd like me to do a follow-up to this vlog, because I still have a few comments on that original video that have recommendations that I haven't read yet. So I could do this vlog again later on in the year, or I could do it again next year based on my TBR at the end of the year, but I'll work something out. But yeah, thanks again for watching and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye!